everyone, and welcome to the 12th class in this series of creating peaceful moments. This series is all about slowing down and being quiet, and we're taking 1 hour to do some really peaceful, relaxing Yin Yoga poses. For this routine, you don't need any props, so let's begin in a comfortable seat, sitting whatever way works best for you. And while you don't need any props for this routine, if you do want to sit up on a cushion or a yoga block, of course you can do that. And if it feels comfortable for you, you might close your eyes. Try to create some space between your vertebrae. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. And just try to align your heart over your hips, your brain over your heart. You have arrived to your yoga mat, and the hardest part is over now. All there is to do is to be. Just notice yourself breathing in and out. You don't have to change anything, just accept it as it is. Very normal for your mind to start thinking here, drawing from the past or wondering about the future. Whatever direction your mind is going in, just try to bring it back here to the present, using your breath and whatever sensations you feel in your body as anchors to keep your mind here on your yoga mat. If those anchors aren't so strong for you, you can also use something in your room to keep you present. The temperature of the air, any sounds you can hear, maybe the smell of the room. And just take note here, what anchors you the strongest or the deepest to the present? Staying as we are, we'll move into a breathing exercise. Today we'll practice 4-8 breathing. And this is one which we have practiced previously in this series. We're breathing in for the count of 4 and breathing out for the count of 8. I'll help you with the count for the first few rounds, and then I will leave you in silence to count by yourself. So let's begin with an inhale, breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And keep going now for the next 2 minutes at your own count. Take about 3 more rounds of breath. Once you've completely exhaled, return to a normal breath, finding whatever it is that anchors you. And just observing if there's any differences in your body now. When you're ready to do so, you can open your eyes. And we'll make our way into our first Yin Yoga pose, which is Sphinx pose. So come to lie on the front of your body. When you're there, have your forearms on the mat in front of you. Hold opposite elbows to determine the quote-unquote correct distance for your elbows to be apart. You want to have your elbows either underneath your shoulders or in front of your shoulders, making sure that they're not behind your shoulders. The further away you have your hands from you, the less intense this pose will feel. So you can take some time to figure out what works best for you. Spread your fingers nice and wide apart. Press the top of your feet ever so slightly into the earth here, so your legs remain slightly active, your glutes are slightly active, and your chest is shining out in front of you. You can either look straight ahead or you can gaze diagonally down. And we'll stay here in Sphinx pose for 5 minutes in total. Of course, these hold times are always just suggestions. If you feel as though you need to come out of any pose sooner, that is okay. Once you've found your appropriate version of Sphinx pose, we'll commit to the second principle of Yin Yoga, and that is stillness. So just allow stillness to touch every part of your body. Your fingers and toes, your spine and pelvis, your legs and your arms. Everything has been cemented into stillness now. Find what it is that keeps you anchored in presence. Try your best to stay with it for the next few minutes here in Sphinx. Take about 3 more breaths here in Sphinx. Now you can bring yourself slowly back down onto the mat, letting out a big ah here if you have to. Finding crocodile pose by bringing your big toes together. Rest your forehead onto your hands. Just let Sphinx echo through your body now for the next minute. The next pose that we'll practice is seal pose. So you can bring your feet to about hip width or mat width distance apart. Hands can come to mat width distance apart, either beside your chest or in front of your chest. And then we'll peel the upper body up off of the mat. We'll hold seal pose for 2 minutes. And if seal pose feels too intense, you can repeat Sphinx pose instead. You can gaze straight out ahead, or you can look diagonally up. Option for seal pose to stretch through the back of your neck would be to gaze down at your yoga mat. You can find whatever variation works for you. And then once again commit to stillness. Tapping into all the physical sensations that seal is bringing. Connecting to your breath. Remember, the feet, legs, and glutes are slightly active. We're always slightly active in Yin Yoga, never just flopping or collapsing into any pose. Take 3 more breaths in seal. And then come back down onto the mat. Another big if you need to get it out of your body. Rest in crocodile pose. Big toes back touching, heels dropping out to the edge of your mat, and rest either the side of your face or your forehead onto your hands. Before we move on, take a moment to completely relax the back of your body. Now your legs and your glutes are totally inactive. Shoulders relaxed, jaw loose, face soft. Take a breath in to breathe in peace, relaxation, calmness. And breathe out to let go of anything that you don't want to hold on to anymore. And when you're ready to do so, you can roll over onto the back of your body. Taking a moment in corpse pose or whatever pose is most comfortable for you on your back. Allowing the spine to ever so gently flatten to the earth. Again, relaxing your shoulders and your jaw. Now we'll make our way into a reclined twist, having the right leg along on the yoga mat, left foot can come onto the right thigh, right hand holds this top knee, and your left arm reaches up into the air. Stack your hips on top of each other, bringing your knee over towards the right. Left arm can come back down to the left, roughly perpendicular to your body. You want to make sure you can keep both of your shoulders connected to the mat. We'll pause here for a few breaths in reclined twist. If you want to take a deeper twist into your spine, you can look over to the left. You're welcome to stay in reclined twist, but there is an option here to come into cat pulling its tail if you want to go a little bit deeper into these sensations. For cat pulling its tail, you can take a bend into your bottom leg, which is your right leg, and then reach your left hand down to find your right foot. Again, both shoulders stay grounded. And then you might take your top foot, which is your left foot, onto the floor or onto the mat over on the right side. You might use your right hand to pull that left thigh up towards you. You can keep this bend in your top leg, or it can come straight, keeping your foot somewhere on the floor. And again, to go deeper, you can look to the left. We'll stay here in cat pulling its tail for the next 3 minutes. If you have to shift through your upper back and your hips to keep your shoulders grounded, that is okay. Feel free to adjust the pose until it feels right for you. Once you have found what works, stay in your stillness, stay in your calmness. And I'll let you know when it's time to release. Slowly unravel the pose now, making your way back to center. Either resting your knees against each other or stretching your legs out long for corpse pose. We'll just take a moment here in the center. Now let's take that twist to the opposite side, extending the left leg long, bringing the right foot onto the left thigh. Left hand holds the knee as the right arm reaches up. And we'll stack the hips on top of each other, bringing your knee over to the left and your right arm back down to the right. We keep our shoulders grounded in these poses to help to protect the spine, making sure we're not twisting it too far. We'll hang out here in reclined twist for a moment. You can go deeper by looking to the right. If you wish to go that bit deeper and come into cat pulling its tail, you can bend your bottom leg, Find that left foot with your right hand. And then do whatever you need to do to realign your hips, maybe stacking them that little bit more. You can shift your shoulders in a way you can press them both into the mat. And maybe pull that right thigh a little bit closer to you. Top leg can stay bent or it can extend straight out to the side. Once you've found your version of the pose, we'll pause here for 3 minutes. You can go a little bit deeper into the pose by using your left hand on your right thigh and very gently pull it closer to the earth. Now you can come out of the pose really slowly. Finding your preferred resting position and just feeling the effects of the pose. You can release your hips and your lower back by doing some windshield wipers, having your feet mat with distance apart. Gently drop your knees from side to side. Pausing if it feels good to do so at any point. In Yin Yoga, if you ever feel the urge to sigh or to make kind of awkward, embarrassing noises, feel free to do that. Don't hold it in. It's your body getting rid of whatever it's trying to let go of. Now you can peel yourself up off of the mat, finding a seat this time. And we'll practice half butterfly pose. So since we'll be sitting on the mat, again, you're welcome to use a cushion or a yoga block to sit on. We'll extend our left leg out long over to the left and bring the sole of the right foot in towards your left thigh. The closer you have your foot to your pelvis, the more intense this pose is going to feel. So you can find whatever position works for your foot. If your right knee is sensitive, you can support it with a cushion or maybe a yoga block in underneath. So take some time to find your appropriate edge. Feel your seat bones pressing down into whatever you're sitting on. And we want to make sure that the pelvis is rotating forward here. And then from here, we will ever so slowly walk the hands away from the body, dropping the nose down towards the ground. And just remember the principle of finding your appropriate edge. Even if you can get your nose close to the floor and you can get your hands really far away from you, that's not the objective in Yin Yoga. The objective is to find that first edge first of all, that point where you're slightly challenged. You can feel the sensation within your thigh and your back, but you're not forcing anything. And then with time, as the body opens up, you might be able to go to that second edge, walking the hands a little further away, dropping the nose a little bit lower. As you wait on each edge, you're practicing stillness, practicing drawing your awareness inwards or at least to the room that you're in. We'll stay here for 3 minutes in total. take 3 more breaths here. And start to slowly push yourself away from the ground. Keeping your legs as they are, we'll just pause for a few breaths with a straight spine. Feeling half butterfly now, fluttering around your body. And now bring your left arm either onto your left leg, or it can come to either side of the leg. You may or may not hold your left toes. That's not necessary. It's not necessary. But wherever you are, you can reach your right arm over your head as if you're trying to touch your right fingertips to your left toes. You can bring your gaze up towards that right thumb, feeling that opening through the right side of your rib cage. We'll just stay here for about 3 breaths. And then you can release, allowing your right hand to land somewhere behind you on the mat, and then reach your left arm over as if it's now trying to touch your right fingertips. Again, look up towards your left thumb this time. Feel whatever sensation you're feeling. That's your anchor for this moment. And then we'll make our way back to center. You can switch your legs now. So your right leg comes out long over towards the right. Your left foot comes in towards your right thigh. Seat bones press down into the earth. Pelvis is rotating forward. And then just go to your first edge, walking your hands away, dropping your head. Never forcing anything in Yin Yoga. Just waiting for those little signals from your body, inviting you to go that little bit deeper. And those signals might not come, and that's okay. You're always where you're meant to be. Find 3 more breaths here. Now you can push yourself away from the ground. Again, pausing with that straight spine. And now the right arm can come somewhere on or beside the right leg. We'll rainbow the left arm across. Look up at your left thumb. Anchor into your sensations. And then come back, dropping that left hand somewhere behind you and reaching your right arm towards it. Looking up if you can. And now let's come back to center. Your right foot can come back in, finding a cross-legged position on your mat if you can. And we'll bring the left hand behind us and the right hand can come to the left knee. Inhale to lengthen your spine and exhale to slowly rotate to the left, maybe eventually looking back over your left shoulder. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to twist. And then we'll take it to the opposite side. Now let's come back to center. From here, interlock your fingers in behind your back and then take both hands over towards the left rib cage. Very slowly point that left elbow back behind you, only as much as feels comfortable. You'll start to feel that sensation within your left shoulder. If you want to take this a little bit deeper, you can drop your right ear over your right shoulder. And just feeling that opening of shoulder and neck. Squeezing out any tension. Creating space for it to just float out of your body. We'll take about 3 more breaths here. And now let's lift the head and bring both hands over to the right rib cage. Right elbow slowly points back if it can, and then maybe the left ear comes towards the left shoulder. Now let's come back to center. Release the fingers. Drop your head so you can open through the back of your neck. And now look up to open up your throat. Come back to center and now just look over your left shoulder. Back to center and look over your right shoulder. Now you can come back to center and we'll go back down onto the mat for corpse pose. So bring with you anything you might need to feel warm, to feel comfortable. We're going to spend the last 5 minutes of our practice here. So corpse pose for you might be resting your knees against each other, or it might be having your legs long on the mat. Palms face up. And the body can take up as much space as it needs. As best you can, just let everything go here. Dropping your shoulders, your jaw, your hips, your knees, your feet, your elbows, your hands. Feel gravity pressing over you now, just falling onto you like a blanket, very gently pressing you into the earth. Over the next few minutes, your body will absorb the benefits of all of the poses that you've done. And it can get into a deep state of relaxation. There's nothing you need to do. Just be here. And then I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Bring a little bit of awareness back into your body, gradually making small movements. When you're ready to, come lie on the right side of your body. Pausing here for a few breaths. Really honoring yourself for coming, for showing up, and for doing this practice. And when you're ready, you can come back into a seat on your yoga mat. Back to how we started this class. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this session. If you did, make sure to leave the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. It really supports me creating these videos, and I would love to practice with you again in the future. And if you enjoyed this style of practice, make sure to check out the other videos in this series of creating peaceful moments. There's lots more classes just like this one in there. So I'll see you again soon on the mat. Until then, take good care of yourself and goodbye.